sewing friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna share a dress sewing tutorial. This dress has figure hugging shape with ruffles at the bottom and puff sleeves. It is very elegant and classic design. I'm using Cindy dress PDF pattern that available in the link at the description box below. You will need 2.5 meters or 3 yards of fabric and an invisible zipper. Put all pattern pieces on the fabric following the instructions on the patterns, or you can follow the fabric cutting layout as suggested in the patterns booklet. This dress has 9 pattern pieces, so make sure you don't skip any pieces. Once everything are cut out, you need to cut all the notches. Now we are ready for the sewing process. Start to assemble all the main bodice pieces. Take the front center bodice piece and pinning it to the front side bodice pieces along the seam line with the right sides facing each other. These pieces are a little bit curved, so take your time to make sure everything matches up well here. Now when everything is ready, stitch in place. Do the same exact process to the back bodice pieces. Pin the front and back shoulder seams together and stitch. Finish all the raw edges of seam allowance together, also the raw edges of center back seams and side seams. Clip as much as possible around the curved seam allowance. Next, join the front and back bodies. Press well all the side seams open, the shoulder seams toward the front side, and the other seams toward the side body. Now we are going to attach the zipper. If you don't have invisible zipper foot, press the zipper teeth open. With the zipper facing up, place one side of the zipper to the edge of the one side of the dress. Pin all along the outside of the seam line until reaching the notch. Stitch closely to the zipper teeth. To make sure the zipper is aligned with the opposite side, zip up the zipper and mark the end of the stitching to the opposite zipper that hasn't been sewn yet. Open the zipper. Match up the mark to the notch and pin the zipper along the outside of the seam line. Once the zipper is sewn perfectly, zip up. Match the notches at the center back seams. Continue pinning all along the seam line and stitch in place. After all the bodice pieces are assembled, prepare the facing pieces. Pin shoulder seams together and stitch in place. Finish the raw edges of the shoulder and center back seam allowance, and then finish the raw edges all around the bottom of facing with the shoulder seam allowance toward the back side. Pin the facing to the bodice with right sides facing each other. And stitch all around the center back to the neckline and to the other center back side. Clip half of seam allowance all around the curved seams. And then turn inside out. Press the facing with the seam allowances all toward the back side. Understitch to the facing, starting from the center back across the front piece until reaching the other center back side. Now it's time to make the sleeves. Prepare the sleeves pieces and finish the raw edges of both side seams. With right sides facing, fold to match up the front and back side seams. Pin and stitch from the top side of the sleeve until the notches. Repeat the exact same process to the other sleeve piece. Make sure that the seam allowance are pressed open nicely. We are going to insert the sleeves to the cuffs, so now prepare the sleeve cuff pieces. Take one piece, fold in and press the top and bottom seams toward the center. Then fold in both of side seams toward inside and press. After that, fold up into two and Repeat the similar steps to the other cuff piece. To make the ruffles, best stitch twice all around the top and bottom of the sleeves. Take both of the under threads and pull together the bottom sleeve. Insert through the cuff by sandwich the bottom sleeve between the cuff. Match up the center notches. Match up the left and right notches on the cuff to the edge of the sleeve. Keep pull the threads until the sleeve has the similar length to the cuff. Continue pinning all around the cuff. Repeat the exact same process to the opposite sleeve. Now stitch inside 3 mm from the edge of the cuffs. Remove the gathering threads that's showing up from the outside. The sleeves are now ready to attach to the bodice. Pull both of the under threads to make the ruffles. Leave ungathered the threads between the front sleeve notch to the back sleeve notch. With right sides facing, place the sleeve along the armhole seam line. Match up the notches at the top and pin. Make sure front sleeve meets the front armhole and back sleeve meets the back armhole. Keep pulling the threads until the sleeve has the similar length to the armhole. Repeat the similar steps to the other sleeve, and then stitch in place. Finish all the raw edges of seam allowance for both sleeves. Remove the gathering threads that's showing up from the outside. Tie up twice the knot under the sleeve to make a ribbon shape. Do the same to the other sleeve. Prepare the ruffle pieces and finish the raw edges of both side seams. Best stitch twice all around the top ruffle. with right sides facing, match up and pinning both ruffle pieces along the seam line. And press all the seam allowances open. Cut half centimeter off the edge of the bottom hem seam allowance to prevent the bulkiness of the hem when sewing. Fold and press half centimeter of the ruffles hem, best stitch all around. Fold and press once again to close the raw edges. And stitch in place all around the ruffles hem. Take both of the under threads and pull together the ruffles. Match up the center front and back notches to the center front and back the bottom of the bodice and pin all along the seam line with the right sides facing each other. Keep pulling the threads until the ruffles have the similar length to the bottom of the bodice, and continue pinning it until the ruffles have the same amount at each side, and then stitch in place. Finish the raw edges of the seam allowance. And now the dress is finished. Here is what the dress looks like, and I'm really happy with it. I hope you are enjoying this tutorial, and if you do, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel for more sewing tutorial. I also upload this tutorial onto my blog, so make sure you visit it. I will leave the link in the description box below. Thank you so much for being here, my sewing friends. I really appreciate you, and see you again on my next video. Bye bye!